Welcome to the Sean Squad Society podcast, the podcast for all of us teeny boppers who were head over heels in love with our teen dream, Sean Cassidy. Come along with us on this journey to share the stories that helped us create the Sean Squad Society podcast with your host, myself, Penny,
Dame Madonna,
Cindy,
and Doris.
This is Danny Bonaducci, also known as Danny, the cutest Partridge. And I'm telling you to get on the bus with TV's favorite musical family.
All right.
We have Shirley, TV's first hot single mom.
See, I'm gonna have to start hanging out with an older crowd.
Keith, the heartthrob.
Girls are following me around. They just won't leave me alone.
Lori, the hottie.
Not easy being the sex symbol.
And Danny, the talented one. That's me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chris and Tracy, they didn't do a whole lot. And of course, everybody's favorite, Ruben.
I don't believe it.
Guest stars like Farrah Fawcett, Johnny Cash, Richard Pryor, Dick Clark, Mark Hamill, Louis Gossett Jr., Jack Cassidy.
And we are going to go for a ride on that bus. This is going to be a fun episode today. And
I can't wait.
Man, I hope Shirley or David, whoever is driving, is going to take us on a safe ride. But it's going to be groovy. Who's
Come on,
in?
you guys, let's take
The
that
Partridge
ride on
Family.
the Partridge Family.
Yes. We are going on a Partridge Family tour. Wow. This is going to be a really good one. I am so excited to share.
What were you doing back then?
Yes, the first episode, September 25th, 1970?
Yep.
And, we've talked a lot about star-studded episodes. And this is, and not episodes, but episodes. Series.
This whole series.
And so I think I might start there. Are you guys cool if I start with some star-studded episodes?
Yeah, who was in that show?
Well, yeah, let's
Besides
talk
the
about
obvious.
Partridge Family guest stars.
Yes.
Besides David Cassidy and Shirley Jones?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think Johnny Cash actually was in their very first episode.
He sure was in the Vegas show. They were going to be the Vegas show.
They were going to headline a show in Las Vegas. They were driving the bus down the strip. I remember the episode perfectly. Danny's looking out the window, and he sees their name on the big marquee. It's just really cool.
And then Johnny Cash introduces them on stage.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, America's latest success story, the Partridge Family.
Well, should I keep going or should we save the rest?
That was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, that was the beginning, first episode. But let me tell you about a secret lost first episode.
Oh.
There's a pilot episode recorded that no one ever saw that Jack Cassidy is in.
Yes, I remember seeing that on YouTube. That was a good scene, too. I wish they would have kept it.
Yeah.
Then there was the time I fell in love.
Good night, honey.
Good night, Mark.
It says, and I found a little write-up, it says the pilot was filmed in December 1969. The on-air pilot differs from the first pilot that was broadcast in 1970. In the on-air pilot, Shirley's name is Connie.
Connie.
And
doesn't fit her.
she has a boyfriend played by Jones's real-life husband, Jack Cassidy, father of David Cassidy.
There's got to be some good chemistry there, though.
So,
Well,
I guess they decided they didn't like it.
Yeah.
And we know the history.
Right.
Shirley becomes Shirley.
So
And
she doesn't have a boyfriend in the beginning episode. She's just a working
widow.
mom.
Yeah, they don't even
A single-
mention how she became a widow.
A widow working mom.
Yeah.
Right.
well, speak of a widow working mom, I do know that Shirley was asked to play in the Brady Bunch, but she turned it down because she didn't see herself playing like a stay-at-home mom with a maid.
Right.
She was always a working mom, so when she was offered, I guess
That show,
the
Partridge Family.
the Partridge Family, that the character fit her better because she was a working mom.
Working and singing.
And singing.
She's a singer.
Yeah.
She loves to sing.
Yeah.
So that fit her perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, she was made for this part.
She was.
really was.
Yeah.
And if you
I wanted her to be my mom.
Me too. Everybody did.
Everybody wanted her.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember in the very beginning, the pilot episode or episode 2, maybe 1, they're all singing around the house in their garage, rehearsing and everything. And Shirley, the character, doesn't want to be a part of this thing.
Right.
And then at one point, they're all saying, we're missing something. Hey, Mom, how about you come and join the band? And
Yeah, Mom, come on with us.
I remember that.
And it's really kind of cool because I think everybody knows it, but I'll mention the Partridge Family is loosely based on a real-life singing family, the Cowsills.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And their mom sang with them. So
Yes.
But the producers didn't want to use them with the show.
correct.
Yes.
So then they hired all these other actors.
Yes. And in fact, I'm going to look this up because I read about that last night.
Yep. They didn't use them in that episode. But they
did.
made a good choice getting Shirley and David. And
Yeah.
perfect. I love the cast.
And what was the name of that group again?
The Cowsills.
Yes, they actually toured. The Cowsills.
Oh, they were
actually
popular in the 60s.
Yes,
They have
yes.
top 40, number one.
They sang Flowers in Your Hair.
Yes, that's
Remember we
right.
used their
Yes,
song.
once. Yes, that's it. Because I even watched some of their stuff last night. They're really good.
They are good.
Yeah.
And that's where they were based off of.
Yeah.
And Shirley actually introduced them at a concert or something.
She did.
One of their shows they did, Shirley introduced the Cowsills, which was nice.
She did.
That tied in pretty good with it.
Yes, and that's how the Partridge Family became the Partridge Family.
That's right.
The other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about was their albums. We all loved the TV show, but the TV show wouldn't have been much without the album.
Those were my first albums ever.
I didn't have any of them when I was a kid.
Oh, Partridge Family to me, I was 7 years old when it came out. And that, I don't know, I finally realized there's something out of my house. Like there's something else that existed in this world other than my family when the Partridge Family came on. So I really stuck with them. I got all the albums. I was too young to like David as a teen idol, but, that was the first family that I really stuck with.
Every Friday night, Brady Bunch and Partridge Family.
Right.
I would not move from the TV.
That's right.
Every Friday night, Brady Bunch
Perfect
and Partridge
lineup.
Family. And I couldn't buy the albums. I was young, too. I was just like you, very young, but I didn't even know the albums existed. Again, in my neighborhood, there were no Partridge Family records.
I don't know where I got my first one. I don't remember
buying
it.
Jackson 5 records.
I'm sure I got mine at the Montgomery Wards.
Where we all went.
We all went.
Montgomery
And I'm
Ward.
sure my dad took me. Like he always.
I wish I could have gotten them. I have them now.
I have all of my duplicates. I have triplicates. Every time I find them in a resale store, I can't leave them behind. I just have to get them.
Cindy, Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming. I have duplicates. Yeah.
But
So,
there were 8 albums, you guys.
8 albums.
Partridge Family albums. And
yep.
there are now 13 total albums.
Altogether.
Because they make these compilation albums.
Greatest hits and stuff. Yeah. Yep, they do. And there were some singles released too. Of course, the popular one, I Think I Love You.
Well,
that even surpassed the Beatles in 1970 with their single, I think it was Let It Be.
I was getting there, Cindy. I was getting to the singles.
We know
from
this
the
family
albums.
well.
Yeah. So we know the albums. And the first album, the Partridge Family album, named aptly after the show, came, what was it, Cindy?
1970?
I Think I Love You.
Oh, I think I Love You. Yeah.
So I Think I Love You was the first single, and it just soared.
Well, it's still
it went
popular.
gold. It went gold.
Yeah.
Well, in 1971, they were nominated for Best New Artist in the Grammy Awards.
I remember them at the Grammy Awards.
Yes.
Weren't they there with Michael Jackson?
Well, I don't know if that would.
I'm sure there were many other there
Yeah.
besides
I
Michael
that
Jackson.
one with David Cassidy standing there with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yes. But they weren't, did they win? Best New Artist?
They were nominated. It doesn't say that they won.
Didn't win. Well, from, they had all those great 8 albums, and I have a list of their albums right here and the singles from some of those albums. So the Partridge Family album was, of course, the first one. And then they had one called Up to Date, which I don't remember that one.
I have
Sound Magazine, Shopping Bag, Partridge Family Notebook, Crossword Puzzle, and Bulletin Board.
And the hardest one to get is Crossword Puzzle. I could not find that one, and my daughter gave it to me for Christmas a couple years ago. I could not find that one. Very rare.
So I don't know if you knew this, but they had a Christmas album. It's called the Partridge Family Christmas Card. And that was the top-selling album in 1971.
It said it was certified gold.
Yeah, they had a lot of gold-certified albums. A lot of them.
5. There's 5 of them.
They really were the hottest thing in the early 70s.
Oh, they were.
Hey, they're still hot in my world. I
still watch them.
I do too. I love the Partridge Family. I mean, if they're on a Saturday or Sunday when I'm home, you will have to pry me out of my seat.
Yeah, I was watching it the other night. My husband comes downstairs. He's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Nothing."
No,
Nothing.
I would admit I am watching the Partridge Family, so do not bother me.
I brought my DVD collection.
Yeah, Doris, you both of us have this DVD collection.
Yes. So I thought maybe afterwards we could have a viewing party.
Oh, I love it.
Could watch some Partridge Family.
Sometimes, though, I go online and I just watch all the musical parts of this episode, which song they're singing.
Well, let's talk about some of the singles off of these albums.
Yeah.
Because that's my favorite part of the show, like the songs. I can almost tell you the setup of the show when I hear the song, or when I see the beginning of a show, I know exactly what the song is.
Yeah, and sometimes they have their guest star in the audience when they're singing. So sometimes I know by that which episode it is.
Yes.
Who's sitting in the audience.
And in a few minutes, we're actually going to talk about that. But let's talk about a couple of these really big songs from these albums. And we all know I Think I Love You. Everybody knows.
I think I love you, so what am I so afraid of? I'm afraid that I'm not sure of a love there is no cure for.
I Think I Love You was like the most popular song of 1970.
And it was released before the show even started. They wanted to get that going before the show. So I think maybe in the spring of 1970, they released it, and then the show started in September.
Right. Yeah.
So it led right into the show.
They wanted to get that show popularized with I Think I Love You.
And they did a good job.
They surely did. Well, then they had Doesn't Somebody Want to Be
Even
Wanted?
Alice Cooper did comments on that.
Yeah.
For even like the record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says he's guilty of, guilty pleasure pop records.
That's his guilty pleasure.
He likes their
records. I remember
records.
him saying that. Mm-hmm. Well, who remembers Doesn't Somebody Want to Be Wanted?
Doesn't somebody want to be wanted like me?
I won't sing. I'm going to spare you guys, but I love the song. And I'll Meet You Halfway. When I used to see David in concert and he did I'll Meet You Halfway, I would just cry because it's such a great song. I loved.
Wait, here's I think I have a little bit of on my phone. This is I'll Meet You Halfway. And Sean sings this in his shows.
Well, yes. That's the one Sean sings now in his shows.
This is the one.
Well, that one was an episode. That was in 1971.
Yeah, love that one.
So I woke up in love this morning. That's
a good one.
That's a great one.
I woke up in love this morning. I woke up in love this morning. Went to sleep with you on my mind.
And I'm not going to go through all of them, but they did a cover.
I Can Feel Your Heartbeat.
I Can Feel Your
Heartbeat. I love that one, yeah.
And you didn't even say a word. I can feel your heartbeat, but you didn't even say a word.
They did a cover of Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. That's a Neil Sedaka song.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Remember when you held me tight and you kissed me all through the night. I think of all that we've been through, 'cause breaking up is hard to do.
And then, some of the ones that aren't on this list that I love, there's a song that they do called Sunshine.
Yes.
And it's more of it's kind of got a gospel churchy sound to it. I love that song a lot. And we're going to talk about the episode it came from because it has a guest star.
Oh, here it is. Wait, let me see if this is the one, right?
I'm hearing Sunshine in my headphones.
And this was the episode with who in it?
They did too, but this is the one with Anthony Geary.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Tie-in.
I'm hearing Sunshine in my headphones. I love this song.
I wish we could just play songs all day.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to some more guest stars. You wanna?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the guest stars.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We already talked about Johnny Cash. We've got Ray
Bolger?
Ray Bolger. He was the Wizard of Oz. Who did he play, Cindy?
Scarecrow.
That was the
That was
Scarecrow.
my favorite character, I think.
Yes,
But
everybody loves the Scarecrow.
But he played Shirley's father
Yes.
in 3 episodes.
But I couldn't get the Scarecrow out of my mind when I was watching him.
He was
I thought about
he was the first dad. They replaced him, and I really loved him as the dad. There was an episode with First Chris. So we all know there were 2 Chris's, and First Chris was in his dressing room, and Shirley's dad wanted to revisit show business, and he wanted to sing and all of this.
Oh, yeah.
And
He had a little banjo thing or something, right?
Like ukulele.
Ukulele.
And the critic wrote him up and said he was campy. And he didn't know what campy meant. And he asked the First Chris. I'll never forget that scene. And it was a really cute episode because he did think he could come back and be a hip singing group just like the Partridge Family.
Yes.
And he wanted to tour with them. And and then he really did at the end. It ended well with him and Shirley, I think, singing one of his songs together.
Bluebird or Blackbird, something like that.
Yes.
They sang.
Yes.
I think it was a Bluebird.
Bluebird. Yeah, they sang that together. That was very nice.
Yes.
So I remember that episode very well.
Yeah.
I liked him as Shirley's dad.
Oh, I wish he would have stayed on there the whole time. That was great.
Yeah, they did good. Well, speak of Shirley's dad, let's talk about her mom, Rosemary DeCamp.
Yeah, she was a good actress too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything else she really played in.
I'm not a big follower, but she
I
was
remember
the first
seeing
mom.
her like a guest star and things, but I don't know where she started.
That's the
And
thing.
it was 4 episodes, yeah.
She's one of those people you always saw on TV. She was always a guest star on
Yes.
something. You see her face, and
I remember her from that.
Well, then we have Maureen Reagan, Ronald Reagan's daughter.
I didn't even know she was in it.
Well, this is my favorite.
Well, it was only 1 episode.
Oh.
She had a little cameo appearance in one episode, the Energy Hog episode.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was getting to be about time for the energy crisis in America. We were all having an energy crisis in the 70s. So Danny decides he's going to make the Partridge Family the pillar of energy saving. Well, somewhere along the way, the meter gets read mistakenly, and they are now the energy hogs.
Right.
And they have less than 24 hours to bring down their energy level.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Well, I remember it so well. They're running around at night, unplugging everything.
Yeah, they find I don't know who was in the closet with the hairdryer. It was David or Susan. They have to go unplug it.
Yes, that was Keith Partridge. And Shirley was brushing her teeth with the electric toothbrush, and they reach in
Danny
and
comes and unplugs it.
Yes.
I think Danny was the monitor of all of it, wasn't he?
He was. He had to bring it down.
Went around unplugging everybody.
But at the very end of the show, they're sitting in their living room, and Chris says, "This is fun. We should do this more often." And
nobody agreed with him, I don't think.
Keith says, "How about a little sunshine?" And he gets his guitar, and the beginning of my favorite song starts.
Sunshine, yeah.
Yeah, and shine in my hands, you got the sun. Shine in your hands, we got the sun. Shine in our hands, now let it shine all over this land.
You got to love one another. Whoa, shine on your brother, and the whole world will discover in the arms of every woman and man.
And that's
enough of that.
The first episode they sing Sunshine, and there's another episode starring Anthony Geary.
Yes. But if you would like to book these two, Doris and Cindy, please reach out to Penny. And
I think we'll just play the record instead.
Anthony Geary was on General Hospital. And in another episode, we talk about the characters that Sean played.
Yep.
And we talk about Dusty on General Hospital.
Yes, we did.
So you know the little game I played, the 6 degrees, how it all turns around. Mm-hmm. Well, Anthony Geary was a priest on the Partridge Family long before he became the famous Luke Spencer. And he knew Susan Day's character, Lori. They went to high school or they were friends and they played tennis together. Well, somewhere along the way, it got all confused, and they thought Lori was running away to marry the priest.
It was Lori's letter. She left out a lot of words. I got more nervous.
I shouldn't call him a priest because priests didn't get married, but he was a man of the cloth.
Right.
And she left the letter, and she left out all these significant words.
Leaving, help, I go to the church with so-and-so, and she's like, oh my gosh. But she didn't say she was helping him marry somebody else.
There was another couple getting married.
Yeah, so Shirley stormed into the church.
And there they were at the front.
Yeah, they were.
It ended well. Well, that was another episode that had sunshine. So
that was fun.
Those are great episodes. So
any other episodes you remember?
Well, let Penny tell us some more guest stars, and maybe we could talk about the episode.
What the episode was about?
Well, let's see here. Future Charlie Angels. This is Jacqueline Smith, Farrah Fawcett, and Cheryl Ladd all made guest appearances, like on separate episodes.
Farrah Fawcett was on the soap episode. Danny was doing commercials, and he used Farrah Fawcett as a soap. She was buying soap.
Yeah, she was in the store buying the soap.
Yeah.
And then I know Johnny Bench was on one.
I don't remember him.
The Baseball Hall of Famer. And I think maybe he may have been dating Lori or something.
I don't remember him.
I don't remember that one.
Nope.
And then, let's see, Bobby Sherman. I mean, we all remember
that was a good
Bobby
episode.
Sherman.
David and Bobby.
Yes, that was a great episode. I remember that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. And then Jodie Foster.
Okay.
Yeah, she was with Danny.
Yeah.
So Jodie Foster played Danny's girlfriend. And she was Bert Convey's daughter.
She was a whippersnapper in that one. She had an attitude already.
Oh, she had a recurring role.
Yeah.
Because remember, Shirley started dating Bert Convey's character. So she had a recurring role.
Mm-hmm.
Speak of Shirley dating, I mean, I don't remember her dating a whole lot of people. Maybe 5 during the whole
series.
I don't think they wanted to focus on that, but once in a while they brought it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a few boyfriends. Bert Convey was near the end.
I don't even think she called them boyfriends. I think they were dates.
Yeah.
Just dates,
Yeah.
you know,
Dates.
dinner dates. Just dinner dates.
Yes.
Yeah. And was Bert Convey on the episode with the whale? Remember they did that whale song?
Yeah.
Whale song, soft and low, sing me a story.
That was a beautiful episode.
That was a great episode.
I loved it. I think Howard Cosell was on that one too.
Howard Cosell was on that episode.
He introduced him.
Yes, that's the one I was confusing with the first episode.
Yeah, that was a good episode. And then
Pryor.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Richard Pryor and Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
The one. Can you believe the stars they had before they were famous?
I did not realize it till we recently looked at the list, how long it was.
Well, Richard Pryor and Louis Gossett Jr. were in the episode when they get mixed up and they wind up at a Detroit firehouse.
Right.
And they're supposed to be somewhere else. And they are there. And it turns out that this loan shark guy is trying to take the firehouse, which they do shows at this firehouse. Mm-hmm. And they're going to get it taken away. And Danny says, nope, ain't happening. I'm going to save the day. And he becomes honorary black, whatever the guy is. He goes and gets all these people, and they do a little block party.
Yes, I remember they're dancing.
The firehouse. Well, the song from that was really a great song. It's like a upbeat kind of soul R&B kind of song. No.
Well, here's a trivia question I was going to ask a little later. It's Richard Pryor and
Louis Gossett Jr.
guest starred as brothers having a benefit performance to save their firehouse. What group was scheduled to play, but because of scheduling mix-up, the Partridge Family was sent instead? The Temptations, Jackson 5, The Miracles, or The Four Tops?
The Temps.
Nope.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Say the list again.
The Temptations, Jackson 5, The Miracles, or The Four Tops?
Well, it wasn't The Miracles.
Well, I guess you're right. It is The Temptations.
The Temps.
The Temps.
Yep.
You call them the Temps.
Well, I'm black.
Temps.
We don't say Temptations. We call them the Temps.
They're the Temps.
Yeah, but I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was. That was a great episode, and the song from that episode is
You're talking about the Partridge Family?
Yes, the
song
they sang. The song from that episode was a really great song that I liked. It kind of had even Keith said, hey, I've been working on this really groovy R&B kind of feel song, and it's called Bandalela. And it had a lot of violins and a good rhythm section.
They were dancing in the street to that song.
Yeah, and everybody was outside at the block party putting money in the can and dancing in the street.
It was a happy time.
Yes.
Well, what about Rob Reiner?
Oh, Snake? Oh,
Snake. He had a recurring role. Wasn't he on twice?
Mom, I don't know. She was kind of iffy about him.
He had a motorcycle, right?
Yeah. And tattoos.
Yeah, tattoos rode up in the yard.
And the leather jacket.
Didn't he roll over some of her flowers? Killed some of her flowers, and was wanting to date Lori.
But I think Lori was trying to convince her mom not to judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
I
that
think that's
episode had David Jolliffe. He was not saying a lot, but he was
he in that episode?
He was one of Snake's buddies on a motorcycle.
He was. And that's David, Sean's friend.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
I like that episode.
And nobody mentioned anything about Sean, that Sean did want to be, I guess, in the Partridge Family, but Mom said no.
Yeah, we couldn't make this the Cassidy family.
No.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he would go visit the set, but he wasn't allowed to co-star.
Yeah. Last night or earlier in the week when I was, getting caught up on the Partridge Family, there was a clip where Sean actually walks up.
Yes.
On set to talk to Shirley.
Yeah.
And stuff. And
there's a few pictures of him on the set too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was in his mind that this stuff would be.
Yeah, it's like home. There's my mom. I got to go ask her a question.
Yeah. So when he went and did the Hardy Boys, I think it was pretty easy for him to transition or to just go into it.
I mean,
from seeing his mom on the set with the Partridge Family.
Yep. And then Mark Hamill.
Before he was Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
He was Lori's boyfriend.
Now, she's running around with her braces.
With her braces.
And she didn't want anybody to see her in her braces.
Very self-conscious.
But they had a show to do. Didn't they have a commercial or something? And they had to get Lori to open her mouth, and she wouldn't do it.
No, she wouldn't do it.
And then she was hearing the Rolling Stones in her mouth. Yeah. I'm like, okay, Lori, there's music playing. And then her boyfriend, Mark Hamill, comes and I almost said Mark
He's
Hamill.
got the radio. He's got the transistor radio in his hand playing that song.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, that's where it's coming from.
Yes.
So he stopped the radio and then they could continue with their show.
Boy, the Partridge Family just catapulted a whole lot of people to their big careers.
When it was playing music in her braces, is that the one we're talking
Mark
about?
Hamill had a transistor radio in his hand. So he was playing it nearby where they were, and Lori was picking it up on her braces. So they didn't know where it was coming from, and then they finally realized that he had this transistor radio on playing the same song she was hearing. So they made him turn it off.
She was all offbeat. They were trying to play, and they were like, Lori, what exactly are you playing? Because it's not what we're playing.
Right, she wasn't in tune.
Yeah, I remember it because it was me. I think that happened with the Brady Bunch too, with Jan, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Back in the day, those braces.
Well, Lori couldn't get them off because she said on a show that these were like permanent braces. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, she thought she could take them off and she couldn't.
Susan Day was trying to remove
She didn't need braces. So these were not real braces. These were for the show.
Yeah.
But they sent her somewhere to get braces put on. They didn't have fake braces back then. So she had to wear them till the show was over.
Oh, my God.
We have any more that we want to...
Any good episodes? What was another standout episode?
Well, I liked it when Ricky came on.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And you know why he came on? Because David Cassidy was kind of zoning out.
Yeah.
So they wanted to bring somebody cute on to pick up the ratings.
It's what they did back then when the show was on, even a short season, 4 or 5 seasons, you already started with the main characters older. So they're outgrowing it. Yes. Now they want to cute it up. They did the same thing with the Brady Bunch.
Yes, with Oliver.
Cousin Oliver. So now they got the neighbor little Ricky and his cute little mop top hair.
I know. He was adorable.
He's so cute.
I loved him. Cute. And then he went on to make his own album.
He did. And I saw him in an interview before, and he's doing well.
Yeah, they did that a lot. when they have shows. Nowadays, the kids just grow up and they just keep going. They don't care. The shows stay on forever. Look at the middle and all of those shows. Those kids grew up. They didn't cute it up with cousins and neighbors.
But I guess it didn't work because, they were only on for a season, then they were done?
I'm going to go back to braces. Here, it says in 2007, Susan Day was nominated for the most beautiful braces. I don't think she felt that way, but
I had braces too, but I never heard music in them. I don't even know I don't even understand the episode because it didn't.
But I mean, like I said, other TV shows featured that in the 70s. I mean,
Googled it and it can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen with fillings also. Just braces, any kind of metal in your mouth, you could pick those signals up.
Luckily, I never did.
So did you guys, speaking of Susan Day, did you guys ever see the spoof on Saturday Night Live with Susan Day? And they were doing the Partridge Family.
Partridge Family was against the Brady Bunch?
Oh, my God.
Oh, hilarious.
Yes. Oh, my God. That was hilarious.
I repost it every year. They were better than the other one, like the dueling families.
Yeah, you guys out there, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and find that.
Hilarious.
It's on YouTube. It's hilarious.
I'm so glad they did that because I never thought about that, Obvious, having a skip between the two. I think they filmed close together too because Marcia would go see David at his lot or something when they were filming. Yeah. She had a crush on David. Yeah. Marcia.
I still have a crush on David.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, so they were interesting that they did talk. So we could go on all day and talk about all these shows they did, which were great.
They had a lot of really good episodes.
They did. I don't mind.
All of them.
Reruns, I don't mind at all. I love all of them. There's not one show I can pick that I say I don't like.
I mean, we could go on forever. The amusement park episode, the well song episode, all of those.
Don't want to talk about the chicken episode, though. That was a...
Wait.
Go Irwin's famous fried
chicken. Wait, who wore the chicken suit? I can't remember.
They all did.
The
family did.
The whole family did. I don't.
Oh, David hated that episode. Yeah.
Danny taught me how to sneak into movie theaters, and the one where he was going around being bad, walking in backwards.
With a disguise on.
No, the crowd was coming out and he was going there walking backwards.
That's true. So many good ones.
So many. You guys write us and let us know your favorite episode.
Definitely. And there were 96 episodes before it was canceled in 74. So now it's just on syndication on different channels that you can follow. I'm sure you can see them anywhere. Yeah. And, with follow-up of the Partridge Family came books. There were 17 paperback mystery novels written about the Partridge Family. Wow. Comic books featuring, of course, David Cassidy in there, too. There was a reunion special with My Three Sons. Remember that?
I watched it.
As a Thanksgiving special.
It was. I remember watching that episode, that special.
It aired November 25th, 1977. Hey, that's right before Sean came out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sean came out in...
I was
he came out in 77.
Yeah, 77 or... 77.
Yeah. Spring of 77, I think, because the Duran came out summer of 77.
Yeah.
You guys, as a side note, let's just throw this out there. Remember when the Partridge Family ended? And it was like 1974, 75. And it wasn't much after that. Sean came out.
Yeah.
But in our little kid world, didn't that seem like a lifetime? They were talking about this Sean Cassidy, David Cassidy brothers. And we were like, oh, yeah, that show the Partridge Family from back when we were kids.
Way back when, a year ago.
It was all of 3 years later, but from 10 to 13 or 14.
It did seem like forever.
Lifetime.
Yes. So they did kind of miscellaneous things after this Partridge Family was canceled. Then there was, in 1995, Danny Bonaducci had a talk show.
Danny! Exclamation point.
Danny show. So he had people from Partridge Family on there too. Not all of them, but most of them were in there to reminisce with him, which was fun.
Was taped here in Chicago when he was here working in radio. So he did that show, Danny. And I got a funny story about the Partridge Family reunion.
Something about a limo, I think you said.
Yeah. So I was on the Danny show twice. One time was the Partridge Family reunion. Another time was getting the people from Hooters or somebody doing calendars. But we won't talk about that. So at the Danny reunion, after the show, at the Partridge Family reunion, after the show, Danny brought everyone to Navy Pier, which is in Chicago, everyone. It's a big entertainment on the lake area. Well, Danny decided he wanted Brian Foster to, quote, unquote, become a man. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Danny? He's like, just get in a limo and take Brian Foster for a ride and make him become a man. So...
What?
TMI.
No, you guys, it has a funny ending. So we get in the limo, and I'm telling the driver, just go up and down Michigan Avenue, which is a really high retail area in Chicago at the time. North Michigan Avenue was shopping and retail. So I said, just take us up and down North Michigan Avenue 2 or 3 times, turn around the corner, and go back to Navy Pier. And that's what we did. But Danny wrote in his book, The Random Acts of Badness, a whole section of where I make Brian Foster a man in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God.
So
That's funny.
that is my story of hanging out with Brian Foster and Danny and the other Partridge Family cast when they were here in Chicago.
That's an interesting story.
Well, you're pretty famous. I had no clue.
Infamous.
Yeah, I'm in a book too with David Cassidy, but that's another episode, so we'll get to that some other day. But interesting stories we come across.
Interesting.
Yeah, stick with me. I have a lot of them.
I know. So far, they've been interesting stories. You never know what you're going to come across, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true. And I can go back and dig something up on a whole different episode. So what else you got for us there, Cindy?
I think in 99, they did a behind-the-scenes TV movie. Do you remember that? Called Come On Get Happy, the Partridge Family story?
I actually have that on DVD.
Oh, you do?
I
yeah.
bought that.
That was good. The film focuses on the lives of Danny Bonaducci and David Cassidy, apparently, which Danny was narrating in there. So that was interesting, too. And then, believe it or not, this year, on June 8th, 2023, it was announced that an animated reboot of the series is in work, The Partridge Family. And it will feature an African-American family in this version.
Now, is this animated? It's going to be...
It says animated.
And it's going to be a black family.
Yeah.
Kind of like how they did the reboot of Wonder Years.
I know, I was thinking about that, too.
But wasn't there in the 70s an animated...
Wasn't that the Jetsons?
Series about
I was thinking the Jetsons.
family.
The Jetsons.
Partridge Family did have an animated show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now they're going to have an animated reboot, and they're going to make them African American.
Yes.
Wouldn't that just be the Jackson 5?
Yeah. Yes. That would make them the Jackson 5.
So we'll have to stay tuned and see what that's all about.
The Partridge 5. That's very interesting. We'll see. We'll have to see and report back on that when that shows up.
Yeah, definitely. That might be a whole episode. Well, ladies, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
Here, I'll tell you.
Jeopardy?
Oh, it's trivia time.
We're playing Jeopardy.
Jeopardy time.
Well, we'll call it trivia time. We don't want the producers of Jeopardy calling us.
Exactly.
No. But it's trivia time. Okay, since you guys are really good with the Partridge Family, and I couldn't even say a word.
Okay.
So here we go.
Here we go.
So, and I pulled this up online. So the Partridge Family mom was played by
Shirley Jones.
Shirley Jones.
Well, we'll see if you're right at the end, okay? The character of Reuben Kincaid was played by
Dave Madden.
Well, don't clap yet. We don't know.
Oh, okay. We don't know. I'm just assuming I'm right.
Susan
Suzanne Crowe.
Crow? Is it Crow? I think it's Crow.
Krough portrayed which character on the show?
Little Tracy Partridge.
Oh.
Jeremy
Gelblocks?
There you go. You guys know I have trouble with some of these words. Was the first actor who portrayed Chris. True or false?
True.
And Doris, you had mentioned there was 2 Chris's, and you just mentioned, was he the first or the second one?
Brian Foster was the second Chris.
Okay.
Yep.
Before becoming Lori on the show, Susan Day worked as a waitress, fashion model, secretary, or keyboard player.
Fashion model.
Okay. And David Cassidy was born in which year?
1950.
And Danny Bonaducci went to high school with this other famous star, Michael J. Fox, Kurt Cobain, Andy Gibb, or Michael Jackson.
That would be Michael Jackson.
Ooh, Michael Jackson. Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
they went to
didn't
high
either.
school.
Where was that at?
Beverly Hills High.
Oh, where Sean went.
Wow. Brian Foster's first acting job was on The Partridge Family. True or false?
I think it's true.
He may have had a commercial as a kid before the Partridges. Well, we're splitting it. I'm going with false and Cindy's going with true.
Yeah.
I can only pick one. Flip a quarter, ladies.
Go ahead, Doris.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. Shirley Jones was named after Shirley Temple. You guys got to get
True.
It's true. I'm playing that one. Susan Day once appeared in a TV advertisement for which product? Kool-Aid, Milky Way, Almond Joy, or Popsicles?
Oh, I don't know.
Popsicles?
Do-do-do-do.
Say the choices again.
Kool-Aid, Milky Way, Almond Joy, or Popsicles?
And I'm going with popsicles.
I'll say Kool-Aid.
We both left out the candy bars.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Kool-Aid.
Okay, I'm going to submit our answers and see. Well, Shirley Jones is correct. Dave Madden is correct. Tracy is correct. Jeremy,
Galbox.
thank you. Portrayed as Chris is correct. Fashion model for Susan Day is correct. David was born in 1950, and Danny did go to school with Michael Jackson. I still can't get over that.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, on his radio show today, and in his book, The Random Acts of Badness, which I keep plugging. His book is like 20 years old almost. But he talks a lot about going to school with Michael Jackson.
All right. And one of you guys picked true and false about Brian Foster's first acting job was The Partridge Family. I just plugged in false, and that was correct.
We said false?
Yep.
I said false.
Okay.
And Shirley Jones was named after Shirley Temple. And then Susan Day once appeared in a TV advertisement for which product? Who said Kool-Aid?
Me.
And who said?
I said popsicles.
And you were both wrong. So,
It was a candy bar?
It was a candy bar.
Really?
It was Almond Joy.
I thought she did like a perfume commercial or something. I was thinking of Love's Baby Soft or something. I don't know.
That's another whole
How
episode.
God take me away.
So we got 9 out of 10. But,
Okay.
Hey, we're Partridge Family experts.
That's right.
well, I would say, but we're not done yet.
We're not done.
Oh,
There's
wait, is there
more.
another one?
But wait,
okay,
there's more.
There's more.
Oh.
There's more.
Cindy, your Partridge Family hat just kills me.
I have my Partridge Family hat
Love
on
it.
today.
I took pictures, so we will be posting these.
All right. And I have my 8-track Partridge Family
my
Greatest
God.
Hits.
Look at that.
This,
Oh.
I mean, seriously, do you have an 8-track player?
No. So it
Who-
doesn't work.
Who has a car out
It's
there?
for display only.
Don't put that in anything. It may never come
It may
out.
never come out. Like you said, with
Right.
your cassettes, it's too old to maybe work.
Yeah.
We don't know what's in there anymore. Maybe there's like bugs or something in there now. I don't
No.
know.
Okay,
Something's
guys, here it is.
All right.
We go all over, sneaking around smoky places all over town. You go home and it's all over. Baby, you know it's getting me down. Because we're one step short of...
One step short of our heaven. And we won't stop short till we get there together. Together, baby, we're better. We're
Together
better
forever.
together. Together, we're better.
Yeah.
Together, we're better. It's the name of the song.
Oh, my God. Could you do that again? Again?
That's right. You have to sing the song to get to the title.
One step short of our heaven.
Yeah.
I am their manager. Please give me a call.
I think that was on Notebook.
Together, together.
Oh, no, not their Notebook.
Baby, we're better.
The other one.
We're better together.
That is probably one of my
Together,
favorite
we're
songs.
better.
Featuring Doris Bledsoe.
No, don't.
Yeah, that was on Partridge Family Notebook. That was the white album. I didn't like that
I
cover
love
very much.
the hope. Thank
Okay.
you, Penny. Thank you.
I love it. Okay, here's another one. Hang on here. I gotta get a lyric that might trick you.
Oh, you're trying to trick us.
What a-
I thought she was making it easier for us.
that was such a great surprise.
See, I told you I have some good ones up my sleeve. To reach out for one another, we've been traveling in circles such a long time, trying to
Come
say
on, Cindy. You know.
hello. And
Oh,
Yeah, I know the song, but
We're-
keep it
okay. And we can just let it ride, but you're someone that I like to get to know. Finish it, Cindy.
Come on, Cindy.
I'll meet you halfway.
Yes.
I'll meet you halfway.
We were talking about that one earlier.
That's right.
And then, I love this. Hello, girl. Yes, it's 5 o'clock. I know, but just you listen. There's something that I've got to let you know.
Ding, ding, ding. I woke up in love this morning.
Yes.
Woo!
Another good one.
Can I tell you guys something I never told you before?
Oh, dear God. You did not.
Another secret.
No, you did not call the radio station.
No. But when I was older, you grow up and now they're playing I Woke Up in Love This Morning on oldie stations when you're in your 20s, your 30s. So I decided I was going to be like, what's his name, the parody guy that did all the parody songs back in the 90s. What's his name?
Weird Al?
Weird Al.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was going to be like Weird Al and make up parody songs when I hear these songs. Now, kids out there, please forgive me, but this is a confession, so I got to say it. I used to say, I woke up in drugs this morning, went to sleep with loops on my mind.
No, I would be like, I woke up drunk this morning.
So maybe we'll cut this out, but I wanted to tell you guys.
I have a confession too.
What's that?
When I was little, me and my friends in the neighborhood would make up dances to the Partridge Family songs, and we would sell tickets to the kids in the neighborhood, and they all showed up.
Oh my goodness.
And my grandpa from Hawaii was there with his video camera and has me dancing to what's that song? It's from the first album, but I was supposed to be an Indian sitting on the floor and my braids were twirling and stuff. It was a big deal in the neighborhood because the Partridge Family production was going.
Oh, wait, but there's a TV show or something where they had to raise money for their theater, their local school theater. And I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it was the Partridge Family. It was someone else. It could have been on Lifetime. And so they did the same thing. They actually made tickets, sold it to the people in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the kids put on a little production like that. So, see?
I actually have it on video. There's no sound to it, but it's on video.
Oh,
I still have it.
Can you see it? Kind of like the black and white ones back in the day with no sound.
I think it was I Can Feel Your Heartbeat. I think because I remember we were dancing to that beat.
All right, ladies. This one's a sing-along.
Okay.
And apparently last week, Doris wasn't into sing-alongs, but she did real well. And she's doing really good today. So here we go. This morning I woke up with this feeling I didn't know how to deal with, and so I just decided to myself I'd hide it to myself and never talk about it.
But didn't I go and shout it
when you walked into the room? Here we go.
I think I love you, so what am I so afraid of? I'm afraid that I'm not sure of a love there is no cure for. Bum, 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 bum.
What a wild ride that was, being on the Partridge Family bus. But I will have to say, Shirley is a good driver. I mean, was that a blast or what?
That was a great fun time.
But you know what? We have to get off the bus now because we have to go visit Dame's closet.
Let me open my closet door. Oh, no. Stuff's falling out. But I know I have something cool in here that I want to share with you guys. Let me see what I find. Oh, hey, I just found something. Guess what it is? It's flat. It's animated. It looks like it has cartoon pictures on the front.
Flat
and
Stanley.
It shows the whole cast that you guys have been talking about. So keep guessing.
A comic book, a Partridge Family comic book.
You're getting close. But this piece, is as old as me, but it's not wrinkled. So I'm so proud of it.
T-shirt?
Not a T-shirt. All my T-shirts are wrinkled. But whoever did the illustrations for it did a good job. Oh, there's the bus you guys been talking about. There's a cute little redhead that Doris always talks about. Guess who is on the front?
Danny Partridge is on the front.
Yes, you always tell us about him, even when we take our long trips to Ohio. And wow, the lady that we saw in Ohio was wearing a jacket like the bus that's on the front of this. And inside here, there's some clothes, but paper clothes. Hey, I just gave you a good hint.
Oh.
They're frayed skirts, striped pants, corduroy, green, fringe, crazy stripes.
Do you piece this thing together?
Is it a Partridge Family puzzle?
You're getting close. Come on, girls. Come on, followers. Cindy loves this. I know you guys all love it.
Dame, you have us all stumped on this one. You're going to have to tell us what this is.
Come on, Doris. It has Danny on it. Well, I guess that doesn't give it away. It is the Partridge Family paper doll book. And you guys all want one.
Oh, I never had that before.
Wow, I never even
I
knew
know.
that
You
one
girls need one.
existed.
Me neither.
That's a great treasure.
That is a great treasure.
Follow us, people, and tell us if you have one.
Yes, that would be awesome because you don't find those anymore. Come back next week to find out what's in Dame's closet. She's full of surprises.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you from the bottom of our teen dream hearts.
Keep on crushing.
Always believe in magic.
And have a peaceful, shantastic week.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. And make sure to keep in touch with us on our email.
SeanSquadSociety@gmail.com.
The Sean Squad Society podcast, including past, present, and future versions, and its contents are owned and controlled by the Sean Squad Society. The views and opinions are solely those of the Sean Squad Society podcast. The Sean Squad Society is written and produced and recorded at the Borden Studios. We may think we are always right, but we will get something wrong from time to time. So we assume no responsibilities or errors of submissions of content.